Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Welcome to another patch note video, and apologies for not doing one last patch. A lot of people were like, where is it? The basic reasoning behind why there wasn't one last patch was last week, or 2 weeks ago technically. They did the patch notes a day after the normal day, I think because of 4th of July and celebrations and stuff. They delayed it a day, and then the day that they did it, I wasn't here. I actually went away for a few days. So I just wasn't around to do it. And by the time I came back, I don't think doing a patch note video seems to be a very like do it while it's happening type of thing, not 4 or 5 days after the fact. So sorry that I missed that one, but we are back and we're going to be doing this one, which is 11.15. So yeah, we're over halfway of the current season now. We're not too distant until, you know, the next season, weirdly. But anyway, let's get into it. So nothing too wild here. We're going to continue drop early sustain in a few places being nerfed, then buffing up champions in places that are a little spicy and a lot of fun. Blitz, Kennen, Xayah. Blitzcrank buff, by the way, that's cool. We also got balance changes to Ultimate Spellbook and all that stuff. So I actually really like Ultimate Spellbook for a fun game mode. I think it's potentially my favourite one they've ever done. But let's get into the highlights. So here are the highlights. So we have actually quite a big patch. Wow. Nerfs, Gwen, Annie, Wukong, Viego, Kale, Silas, Irelia, Aurelian Soul, and Thresh. Buffs to Blitzcrank, Caitlyn, Cassiopeia, Kennen, Mordekaiser, Nidalee, Rell, Shyvana, Syndra, and Xayah. We're having an adjustment to Rumble as well. And we have new skins and a new champion. So Akshan is being released this patch, and the rest, the remaining of the Sentinel/Ruined, or in Thresh's kind of way, Unbound skin. Worth knowing, the Sentinel Graves, Pike, Rengar, Misfortune, Akshan will be available July 22nd. So because the skin of Akshan will be available 22nd, I would imagine that is when he is getting released. So the day after the patch. And then Unbound Thresh will be available July 29th as a token shop exclusive, and will return directly as a purchasable skin in patch 11.20. So in 5 patches, you could just buy Unbound Thresh, but you'll be able to unlock it somehow with a token. It might be for like completing the story or something like that of the Ruined event. Hull Breaker's being adjusted. So we got Rise of the Sentinels. So all I say is they're adjusting it that because it was insanely grindy to actually get any progress, they're making it easier to progress. We have Akshan. I've obviously made 3 videos on this champion. If you want to hear my absolute in-depth thoughts on the champion, go watch those. All I'll say very quickly here, I don't think, my gut feeling, he's going to be a problematic champion in high rating and not a problematic champion mostly everywhere else. Maybe he'll be a pro champion as well. But yeah, I just think the fact that he has a revive is very strong, but he is so weak as an individual because he has that revive that as a carry mid laner is what he's designed to be. It just doesn't, it doesn't just pop. Like, sure, put him in the hands of a great player like in high rating that snowballs the game and wins the game before half an hour. That's his job. But where people aren't going to like specifically do his job very well, I just don't think he's going to shine. So there's that. Annie. So Annie, statistically, is my best champion this season. I've not played her, obviously, for quite a few weeks, maybe even over a month by now, because she was actually pretty good. And in the current meta, you know, I've said a few times, the current meta of AP assassins mid lane that don't care for mid, they just roam a lot. There are a few mages that are starting to show they can actually be in mid. 2 of them are being nerfed this patch. So we did have Malz, he got nerfed. We've had Ziggs, he's been nerfed after a buff. Annie is one that she can deal with these assassin champions, but she's now being nerfed. Aurelian Soul is another because he can actually mimic the roam behavior as a mage. That's kind of the big reason why mages can't be in mid, is the roam pressure of these assassins is too high. That's what Aurelian Soul is. He is the roaming mage. But yeah, so Riot, for some reason, are very much nerfing mages way before they nerf the actual meta mid laners for some reason. A bit of favoritism perhaps this season. So the Q has an 80% AP ratio. It's getting nerfed 5%. It's a decent amount. That is going to hurt Annie a little bit in lane phase, especially when it comes to that kind of either burst or the constant harass with Q poke down until I can then go for burst. But she's being nerfed. Aurelion Sol. Again, Aurelion Sol was a big, like, memed nerf when people heard about it, because people were like, you're nerfing Aurelion, whose pick rate is tiny, and you're leaving Yone alone, you're leaving X-Champion alone, Katarina, you're leaving them alone, but you're nerfing Aurelion Sol. So this has been memed quite a lot, if you guys haven't noticed or don't go on, like, the social media atmosphere. Yeah, like, Riot got a lot of flack, but obviously they're going for it. They are nerfing him. And yes, they're not nerfing kind of a lot of the other champions people mentioned that should be nerfed before Aurelion. Furthermore, a lot of people saying he's being nerfed mainly because of one player, apparently Nemesis. Maybe we'll have to give him a watch in a replay episode eventually. Apparently he is just insane on this champion, and he is potentially the reason that this champion is being nerfed. So the Q cooldown is just being nerfed by a second, so he can't just do it as much. That's not going to be like the worst thing in the world, but, you know, should it even get nerfed in the first place? Probably not. Blitzcrank, a champion I play from time to time. He's getting more armor in lane. So he had 37 base. It's going up to 40. So that will actually help his lane phase a little bit. And then his rocket grab is being more damage of all things. So it's going by 20. Yeah, 20 base damage higher. And then it's actually getting 20% ability power. Obviously, you don't really buy ability power on Blitzcrank, but it's more that it's just the base damage of the spell will do more. Like, if Blitzcrank naturally, just as a champion, gets 50 ability power, the 20% AP buff, it's going to make him do more damage, like, with the hook. Plus, imagine Infernal Dragons give percentage of AP. So it will show a little bit of damage extra. Maybe mana was maybe the area Blitzcrank needed the buff more, but I'll take it. I play Blitz occasionally, and a buff is a buff. Caitlyn. So again, Caitlyn it's been weird, man. Caitlyn has had times of being the biggest AD carry, the most oppressive AD carry, and then she has a lot of time of then being just completely outclassed, because Caitlyn's relatively basic. And when you have the likes of, you know, flashier, I'd say AD carries, Jhin, for example, or just absolute absurd damage numbers, Kog'Maw, for example, Caitlyn can kind of go to the side, and that's, I think, what's happened. So they are trying to bring Caitlyn back into the meta because, yeah, they're increasing her damage ratio of her Q, her main kind of, like, apart from autos, her main poke ability. They're increasing the damage ratio in late game, and that's actually pretty considerable. A 20% buff in late game, rank 5, and well, not even late game, mid game. She's a lot of Caitlyn's max Q first. So yeah, 20% AD buff. She's nearly got a 200% AD ratio on her Q, so basically doubling the amount of damage extra that your Q does based on your AD. That's pretty good. 190% is a lot. So will she see play? I don't know, but we'll see. Cassiopeia, base empowered damage. So when Cassiopeia gets empowered damage, it means that her target is affected by poison. So the base damage of it was 10, and it goes up to 90 of E, because obviously this is her spammable ability. They are giving it 10 extra damage. Honestly, again, you might be like, that's not a lot. This is the spam ability that Cassio uses. Like, she can go really fast because of how much she spams the E. That extra 10 will add up, especially in the early game, I would say. That's a big buff to rank 1 more than anything else. Gwen, E bonus attack speed decreased early. So the bonus attack speed was 40. It's now 40 up to 80. So they're just massively nerfing it in the early game. It's 20% and it's still 80. So again, the idea of Gwen was stupidly weak in the early lane, insane scaling, but she was actually then winning lanes sometimes with like the couple tweaks that Riot's made, and I guess player understanding getting better. Halving the bonus attack speed at rank 1 is going to hurt. You know, it just is. Like, we have seen clips, I don't know if anybody has seen them themselves, Gwen can beat. There was a clip of a Gwen beating a Darius at level 1, and like Gwen had Darius passive on her. She was getting bled, and that's also like plus 20, 25 AD for Darius at level 1. Basically a pickaxe at level 1, and she still beat the Darius. So, and she's supposed to be late game. So yeah. Irelia, damage ratio decreased, damage reduction decreased later. So the changes of Irelia, even though I think it was supposed to go one way for Irelia players, it kind of went the other. She was too strong again. And all that it happened was, yeah, her lane phase is weaker, but you made her late game stronger. So really good Irelia players were still winning lane, and then they were stronger anyway. So it was kind of funny. But the damage ratio of the W has gone down, and it's a considerable nerf. So it was they had it 50% AD and then 150% AD maximum of how much it can do. 40 now is the base, and then 120% is the AD max damage it can do. So I put up to a 30% AD nerf percentage. And the damage reduction was 40 to 80% physical damage and 20 to 40% magic damage, depending your level. It's now doing 40 to 70% physical damage, so a nerf, and then 20 to 35% magic damage. So once again, a nerf. The W was too strong in both doing damage and making you take less damage. Surprise! So yeah, just nerfs to Irelia. Kale, a lot of people have been playing Kale mid because, well, Kale, okay, so what I'd say is the mid lane meta would be rough for Kale in some ways, but not in others. So if someone picks a Silas or an Akali in mid, you're like, oh god, Kale can't survive that lane. But that's the kind of point. These champions don't play mid for mid. They play mid to roam. And then you're just going to leave a Kale free farm in mid. And then she eventually's like, I'm Kale. I'll kill you at level 11. So she does. So they are just making Kale squishier, if that's even possible, by reducing some magic resist. You know, please note this is a magic resist nerf, not an armor nerf. This is not a nerf to her top lane, where most things are AD. This is a nerf to her mid lane. So, yeah. So you should be able to punish Kale more in the early game. And by the way, yep, we have seen Kale's win lane. Like, I've legit seen Kale's win lane in the early game, and it's a Kale. Season 11, baby. Kennen. I like Kennen. Used to play quite a lot of the champion. Haven't played him. Haven't seen him in quite a while. Apart from that, a really annoying Kennen like a week or two ago. If you remember that. So it's a damage buff. And I was getting one shot in that game. So maybe damage isn't the thing Kennen needs. But damage buff nonetheless. The damage on the base is going up by 10 each rank. No, it's not. I lie. It's going up 10 at rank 1. Higher, it's going up by 30 at rank 5. And it's gaining 5% in the ability power ratio. That is a pretty good buff. Like, for poke, for all-in, that's a nice buff. Hell, we might play a Kennen game. I'm back in top lane. I'm playing more top. Expect top lane episodes very soon. Because I will say, 2 days ago, I played on Rank to Diamond, played one game of each role. Today on stream, so you'll see this content more to the mid to the end of the week, I played a whole top lane game today. Top lane role stream today. I was in the mood to play top, so expect those videos later this week. Mordekaiser, a champion that they just seem... They can't get his balance. That's the thing. He's got a strong kit. If he's too strong, it's oppressive. If he's too weak, he does nothing. So they just can't seem to get him right. W cooldown decreased. Stored post-mitigation damage from damage dealt is increased. So the cooldown of it is going down by 2 seconds. That is quite considerable for lane phase. And then the damage that he can store in the W was 35%. It's now 45%. This is just buffs. Like, holy moly. Like, Morde's been buffed. Again, nothing for his damage. This is for survivability because, again, the damage in the game has gone higher, so even Morde can't really survive lane phase. He might be able to now. That's a pretty damn good buff. Nidalee, base health and health growth increased. Nidalee's a specialist champion nowadays, so do I expect Nidalee to become meta? No. Do I expect Nidalee players to be happy about this buff? Yeah. She's not as squishy in the early game. That's as simple as it is. Like, we've all seen things get one shot at level 2, level 3. Prime example, Nidalee versus Kha'Zix. If Nidalee accidentally walks into a Kha'Zix at level 3, she's dead. Like, just flat out, she's dead. So this will just help her not be dead at level 3, potentially. Rell, W cooldown decreased. So they did heavily nerf, obviously, Rell when she became popular. But maybe the nerf was a little bit too much. So they are giving a little bit of power back. That her main kind of way to play her, you have to, the whole thing is the W to do kind of the jump, and then that kind of integrates with everything else. They are buffing that they are making it less on cooldown, 2 seconds less. So that helps. It adds up. If you just take a half-an-hour game of League of Legends, 2 seconds every single time you use it, that's probably a couple minutes worth of more use of your W. Like, that's not bad. Rumble, so they are changing him a bit. So various Rumble heat system bug fixes and other quality of life adjustments. So updated, fix the bug of Rumble's heat would start decaying at inconsistent times instead of the intended 4 seconds. New overheat check. Rumble now immediately overheats upon reaching 100 heat instead of having a short window when multiple spells could be cast before overheating. That's actually quite a big nerf to Rumble because they could maximize the maximum heat damage before they can't cast. Well, now they can't do that. Rumble's heat no longer resets to previous values when undoing shop purchases. That's quite a bad bad bug. And then finally, now indicates the over blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they're just doing that. And then Electro Harpoon, another update. Rumble no longer stops moving when targeting Electro Harpoon at extremely long distances. So yeah, if anything, it's a bit of a nerf to Rumble, I would say, because this thing, that was probably quite a lot of damage that Rumbles were getting off, like, when they probably shouldn't have. So Rumble players might not like that. Shyvana, Q cooldown decreased early, damage ratios increase. So a buff to the Dragon woman. So 9 seconds to 5. It's now 7 seconds to 5. So that will help with jungle clear, dueling, everything early game. And also, they're giving it more ability power ratios. That's it. They're just giving it more AP. I swear that Riot wasn't a big fan of AP Shyvana, but that's what they've literally just buffed. So, AP Shyvana, I guess. Silas. So, I've heard this has also been memed of his nerf might actually be a buff, which is hilarious, by the way. Because, yeah, some really known Silas player was like looking at the potential nerf and was like, I think that's a buff. Which, if it is, like, that's kind of stupid. So, it's basically just going to change the playstyle of Silas. Instead of maybe maxing W, he might max Q, and like that doesn't really matter. It's still Silas, still kind of an oppressive playstyle. So the detonation damage, when he presses Q, there's a small bomb that goes off, and then that's that. It's 60 base damage, now 70, goes up to 280, it goes up to 290, so a 10 flat damage across all ranks. And then also a 10% ability power ratio increase. So we're now at 90% ability power. So if you've got 100 ability power, this ability will do 90 more damage based off your AP ratio having 100, but obviously Silas gets more than that. And then the W, which a lot of people complain about, it's the healing is just stupid. The heal is going down on a base by 5, but then more at a higher rank. So the base of it used to be 150 heal. It's now 125. The AP ratio is going down by 5. And the maximum heal as well is going down. So the maximum heals used to be 60 to 300 plus a 90% ability ratio. It's now 50, so a 10 nerf to 250. 50 nerf heal at rank 5, and then a 10% AP ratio, a maximum heal nerf. So again, less healing, but more damage. I don't think the Silas was lacking damage, if anything, personally. Yes, his healing was a bit stupid, but I don't think they needed to give him damage. Like, Riot, I'm telling you, man, Riot don't want to let go of this meta. They hate mages. They keep nerfing everything. Whenever something's like Anivio, like, watch now, 2 weeks and Anivio will get nerfed. I'm telling you right now, because they've nerfed Ziggs, Mals, Annie. Like, they keep nerfing the champions that can deal with the meta mids. And, like, these nerfs to them are hardly nerfs. Akali is still crazy. They've nerfed that champion, apparently. Like, it's just, blah. Syndra. So there's actually a buff to a mage. This is amazing. So 60 cost of Q is now 40, up to still 80, but that will help her lane phase. I can't believe they're just actually buffing a mage. That's incredible. Thresh cooldown increased, so 11 seconds rank 1 down to 9. It's 13 to 10, so it is a bit of lane nerfs more than anything. Viego, so again, I banned this champion permanently now. He's stupidly easy to play for what he can do. He literally can get like a quadra kill after level 6 without much effort. Like, he's mad. So the Q, all they're doing is nerfing the Q, the stab ability, nothing to do with his ult, the ult damage or anything. The base damage of it is going down by 10. The bonus against monsters is going up. And healing from damage against marked minions is going down to 10%. So what are they doing? It seems that they're trying to nerf lane Viego, but buffing jungle Viego. That seems to be it. So, yeah, we're taking another pass by targeting his solo lane power and compensating with additional monster damage in you know, again, are these the nerfs of Viego really needed? They're probably not enough, let's be honest, but that's the route Riot are going. Wukong, Base health regen decreased, so I don't see that many Wukongs, but he's being nerfed in lane phase. Xayah is being buffed. Her ultimate is going to be up on cooldown more, so that's cool. I like Xayah. Finally, Hullbreaker. Not many champions have bought Hullbreaker, I'm going to be completely honest. The boarding, and where the hell, by the way, is the pirate hat? Like, that was the big thing. It turned the cannon minion into a pirate. It doesn't do that. It should. Boarding party resistances used to be 20 to 45 and bonus magic resist for armor, but it's now 20 to 60. So a 15 bonus armor and magic resist buff from level 9 onwards. And then boarding party minion bonus resistances. Oh, wait. That's resistances for you if you're alone, and that's the minion one, I think. So, yeah, they're just overall buffing it, so you're tankier and the minions are tankier, just to making the item more value, I guess. But there's that. Ultimate Spellbook, so you can get Malphite ult is now available, and Tryndamere ult is no more, because Tryndamere ult was just the broken one when you put it with certain champions. They're also doing some adjustments, which are cool. We've got Clash. We've got ranks 3 split start. Again, the splits, you know, don't really mean anything like I thought Riot was going to make them kind of cool. They don't. Bug fixes. Remember to read through these if you see a champion you play. And obviously, yeah, we have the new skin. So there we go. Quite a lot in this patch. I'd say it's a step in the right direction that Riot is nerfing Silas. They are nerfing Viego. The nerfs are basically nothing, though. And they're still nerfing Annie, Aurelion. If right now I had to say to you, who's a bigger problem, Silas or Annie? I think 99% of you would know who the answer is. Like, it's a bit weird, but at least they're in the patch notes and Riot is talking about the champions. I guess that's a step in the correct direction. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Decent patch though. If you guys did enjoy and you appreciate that I'm going to be editing, getting this up literally as the second video today of me recording this, throw a like on it, throw a comment, let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you made it all the way to the end, as a little Brucey bonus, if you do subscribe, and you comment down below, you will be entered to potentially, only one is going to win one of the Astronaut Corky League partner bundles that I have. So yeah, enter that if you made it to the end of the video. That will be just our secret. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.